All right, everybody, welcome back to the Simple Markets channel. My name is JB. Sorry if I sound a little off today. I've been sick for the last week. But today I'm going to be going over 4 losing trades, and I'm excited for this video because, number one, I want to really push the probability side of trading here and help some of you understand that, yes, you can be a professional trader with losing streaks. This is one of my largest losing streaks within the last few months, so I'm kind of excited to dive into the different setups. As always, the trading plan that I use is completely free and will be in the description so you guys can download it and follow along. And my main goal here is to really drive home the bigger picture understanding that yes, it was a 4-trade losing streak, but when you overall take a step back and look at the cumulative data, you can see it's very minimal to an efficient trading plan in your overall results. Without further ado, let's dive into trade number 1 here. This is going to be pound US dollar, as always on the 4-hour time frame here. First thing I noticed was this very clear liquidity sweep. We grabbed the high with an impulsive wick, and then we broke structure to the downside, creating this range shown by the highlighted dots here. As always, we need a fair value gap within that range, which we can see here. And for me, this followed all of my trading plan rules. I have plenty of backtested data to show that it's profitable with this setup. So I went ahead and took the setup, and overall resulting in that negative 2% just about. One thing I want to mention before going on to the next setup is this is almost identical to another pound USD winner that I went over in a previous video on my channel. And I do just want to flash that on the screen real quick so you guys can really get the understanding that the probability side of trading is simply following a set of mechanical trading rules and letting the markets do its thing. You can't predict every single move in the financial markets. It is impossible regardless of what some YouTubers and mentors may tell you. But your main goal is to take a simple set of rules, apply it to 100, 200, 1,000 different trades, collect data, and show that you do have an edge over the market if you execute that way consistently in the longer term. The next setup we're going to be going over here is USD Chef. So once again, a very clear setup following all the rules here. We have a nice range established after a break of structure occurs. We have a fair value gap right near that entry level. Price works its way back in, comes very close to my entry, and then does tap my break-even line. But of course, I didn't get the tag in here, so price worked its way back down, tapped me in on this candle here, and then eventually just slowly crawled its way toward that stop-loss level. And since then, it's kind of been working its way lower, showing some more bearish volume. This was the second trade in that losing streak after pound US dollar, and both of them were perfectly fine for me to take. I love the impulsive break of structure here and the high volume that we're showing on the bullish side of the markets. It is simply another setup where price wanted to reverse after taking my long position, and it's perfectly okay. We have a CAD Chef setup next. This one very similar as well. You can see the very strong sweep on liquidity with all of its consolidation. Price reaches below those lows, and then a very strong and impulsive break of structure to the upside. As always, we need to see that fair value gap, and this one left one right near entry, which I love to see. Price just very, very quickly on this one ran that overall low, taking my stop loss in another negative 2% here. I do risk a little bit heavier on my personal account because it is my own capital and I can kind of trade based on my risk preference. So I will mention this was about a negative 8% drawdown, one of my largest within the last 6 to 7 months. My previous one being in May, I believe. And then we're going to go on to pound JPY here, which was the last loss that I took in this scenario. But once again, this one was definitely a bit of a small range, but there was a sweep on liquidity. I saw a strong and aggressive break of structure. That impulsiveness shown by the fair value gap in these very large candles helped me kind of establish the idea that we were going to be bullish on this pair. I obviously marked my range from the low to the high as always, and then I take the overall low here to the overall high and mark that out. And then very, very quickly, we see that price worked its way back down and inevitably hit my stop loss. Now, those 4 setups overall combined for about a negative 8% loss in total, actually a little bit more considering CAD Chef slipped me a little bit with my broker. As you can see here, there were 4 losses in a row in the month of November, right towards the end of it as well, basically within that 1 week. And one of the most important takeaways I want to really give in this video is, number 1, take that bigger picture view, look at the cumulative data over a long-term period of time, and understand that when you look at it all combined, when you look at the start point and the finish point of the last 3 months, for example, that this data shows, or when you look at the bigger picture equity curve here, you can see that realistically speaking, 4 losses is not substantial to this overall equity curve and the overall profit on the account. This is very important because some traders go into the markets and this is when they really start losing psychologically, is when they take those 4 trades in a row. They get really nervous, they stop taking other trades, they might not trust their trading plan or system anymore. they might go and lean on a mentor. It's very common. I get questions from people who are in 4 to 5 trade losing streaks asking what they're doing wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean you are doing something wrong as a trader. It just means that you need to hunker down, withstand this losing streak, weather the storm. And then, of course, as you can see here, I actually took a winner right after that, making back 6 out of that 8% lost. And you can see we're right back on track with our equity curve here to continue just growing consistently over time. I'm actually in a few more setups as we speak that do look pretty promising as well. So it's very likely that in the next week or so, you may see some more trade breakdowns. I'll definitely show this winner in this break even. But of course, as those other trades that I'm in right now kind of develop, I will be making a breakdown on those as well. I hope for those of you out there watching this video that are in losing streaks yourself at the moment, you can understand that that longer term perspective is what you need as a trader. And most importantly too, collecting data and having that long-term view of what your trading plan might pan out to be in the very long term. Don't go into it blindly with no data supporting that your strategy works and just assuming that a 17 losing streak is normal and you need to withstand that. Of course, you need backtesting and long-term data to support this thesis. But the overall idea is, in my personal backtesting and many testing of students or even other coaches, we've seen losing streaks 5, 6, 7 trades in a row. So realistically, this 4-trade losing streak was not something that really halted my psychology in any way. And you can definitely see that by the fact that very quickly after, I was confident enough to continue taking trades and eventually making that 6% gain and then that little gain on the break-even trade as well. This really is the important side of trading when it comes to probabilities and understanding expectations based on your trading plan, helping your trading psychology in the long term. Many of you who do have simple and profitable trading plans like the one I use, or even the ones downloading the trading plan in the description and using it yourself, you may be overestimating or over-emotionally reacting to simple losing streaks like this, and I really wanted to make this video to, number one, be transparent, but number two, hopefully help some of you understand that longer-term perspective that we're really going for here as a trader, and what you're going to need psychologically to be that consistent trader in the long term and trade on a professional or high-scale level. So I hope you guys gained some value from this video and appreciate the transparency here with my trading journal. Of course, as always, if you want the trading plan that I use and the trades that I went over in the description, you can download that for free. That's going to be all for this week. I appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys all in next week's video.